My name's Tang. Well, I had a normal childhood, right? And then hung out with a couple of party friends in high school and started drinking, smoking cigarettes, standard smoking weed. And then I didn't know, but alcoholism and well, especially alcoholism, is a progressive disease. I didn't know that. So obviously started with beer and then started drinking more and more, but I didn't drink every day. I didn't know until I came into Alcoholics Anonymous that I was a periodic drunk. I didn't drink every day, so I couldn't connect to, the homeless guy, but when I drank, I had no stop. Once I pick up the first drink, I would just drink until I literally pass out. But I had such a high tolerance that I could drink literally for days. Yes, so it's pretty scary. And then obviously, drugs is part of my story too. I did everything except for heroin. Long story short, but and then I became a daily coke user. Obviously with alcohol too. And then then I started towards the end of my addiction was mostly crystal meth, but I tried all those other drugs too. The ecstasy. I mean the pills. I mean I've done a lot. And then during this time, I mean obviously when alcohol and drugs works for you, it's like almost like a short window where you just felt like confidence, invincible. You didn't have to eat, didn't have to sleep. Your mind was just working at like a superhuman speed, right? So I was outperforming my peers, my competition, until I it didn't work anymore, and I was hooked. I literally hit rock bottom, and then I tried to quit for years, on my own, thinking that brute force, right? Like willpower could get me through anything, right? And then that was not the case. I struggled with my addiction for wow, like a good 15 years. And then the last 6 7 years was just like a living hell, just dead busted. Until I'll keep it short. I one last relapse, drinking, drugging. I asked out for God, in my bed crying, and then a friend of a friend took me to my first A meeting willingly. I mean, I've had two DUIs before, but I would go to one meeting and then just forge the signatures. Right back then it was easy. It's like I got this, and then but now, after 10 years, working a 12-step program, I really know about the disease, not in a egotistical way, right? Just in a humbling way where I see like it's alcoholism. It doesn't matter what race you are, what doesn't matter anything. It's once it got a hold of you, it's and I had, like I said, I have friends commit suicide. I've seen people overdose, throughout the years. It's a healthy fear now. That's why I signed up to do this. So if I could help in any kind of way, just to carry the message, regarding obviously men's mental health, addiction, this, that, I'm just here to help. But I live a sober life, and yeah, it's I feel like I'm pretty blessed just to be here with you right now because at my worst, I mean, just brain fog, just a terrible existent, just terrible. Now I don't know. My life's pretty good, It's this is the best right here. This is the best as get right here. Me talking to you right now, Ben. Right now, I'm forever grateful. Yeah, yeah. Just it took a long time, It didn't happen like a week later, right? This is 10 years of just you know just just in fear, not trusting the whole shebang. I mean, I could talk for hours, but I'm here to tell you today. It's I do have a higher power. I try to live a pretty clean life. And yeah, and just love and service. That's my goal.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, that's part of what just happened to my notes? Um, yeah, part of the what I take to be the rehabilitation process is to find, I guess, three things. You could like a support group, um, like, and then the other two are almost kind of linked. Is like purpose and being of service to others. They're pretty linked.
Yes.
Um, yeah, if you could talk about that, having finding the support group you needed to do this successfully, and then how changing. You said you were really good at what you did before, this superhuman kind of power,
Yeah.
right? So you had a connection to your purpose, but like I guess it was unstable, and now like I guess in sobriety you can kind of reconnect with your purpose in a different way, and have it like that realization that we need to help others is a big part of it. If you could speak to that.
Sure. Well, like I said, my when I first came into recovery, right, I was so broken that they literally told me that I literally had to change everything. That's a lot, when you're like 39 years old and you don't have too many working tools, all your tools are like street tools, it's just all the dirty tools, the seven deadly sins. Now I gotta do all this and with a like a quarter of a working mind, just it's so I went to a lot of meetings. I had a sponsor, who literally just like held my hand, every step, every day, and just it was difficult because I belong to a morning home group. Like, in my disease, I was such a vampire, right? Nighttime, I would come out crawling. Daytime, I would sleep. That it was, pale face, Asian, just anyway. So when I got into recovery, I my home group is a 7 a.m. Co-ed meeting, anyways, in Long Beach. And then I started listening, and then back then all I had was a LA Fitness gym membership. My mom still kept for me. In my disease, I never used this gym membership because I was too busy, right? But when you have nothing else to do, so looking back, that was my biggest saving grace, because by working out, you start feeling better. I started detoxing, steam room workout. And then, and I started, and it was, so literally, I was just working out twice a day and going to meetings for the first year. And then I got a get well job, literally making like $10 an hour, 10 hours a day, manual labor, whatever. I learned how to literally check emails, advertise, sell, run around. That was good, right? Because all these years, I was just doing whatever, but it was a good get well job, which turned into, looking back, that's probably the best thing ever happened because I had to interact with normal people, take orderly direction. It was a lot of growth there. And then, as the years goes by, and during this time, I was going to panels and then talking at detox center, sharing my story. I was pretty brand new, but I was just one thing I've learned is, when you speak from the heart, it touches the heart. And when you're just like rambling words and you're just like a script, it doesn't, there's no connection. So when you talk about connection, I learned, like, even to this day, I try to be honest, and just share my experience, strength, and hope, and it's and obviously fitness is today is still with me, right? I swear by it. I do yoga, I pray, I meditate, I try to help others, I call others, just to keep that connection, right? Because I think this day and age, we live in such a fast paced life, people, with the technology, and people just going, and a lot of times they don't, even breathe properly. That's sad. They're in traffic. They're like, F me. I got that. They just like batch. And stress is a killer, right? blood. I mean, I'm no doctor, but I mean, I've been stressed for years, in my addiction, in my mind. Now I don't have to be in my mind. I could just be present. So I don't know I'm not advocating everyone should do a 12-step program. I'm just sharing. AA has saved my life, and how I pay it back is to be sober and just to be of service to others, in the program, and just to live a simple, peaceful, kind, loving life, and it's what a simple concept, instead of trying to want this, want that, want everybody the mother, I have to be the big shot. I don't have to be anybody anymore. I can just be me, man, Ben, and that's priceless, like I said. And do the fellowship, it's looking back, I'm glad I went through all the stuff that I went through, because if I didn't, I wouldn't have found AA. AA is probably the best gift in my life. It's probably the best love story, because there's so many genuine people. Obviously it's not perfect. Not everybody is your best friend. I'm not saying that, but there's a lot of good people just doing the best they can. When we come together, it's such a strong. That was my AA sponsor just called.
Uh,
That's my win. I'll call him later. But yeah, and this is the bright spot in my life. Where like in my addiction, looking back, man, I was literally I checked out. I literally gave up. Right, like I thought about suicide, but I was such a coward to kill myself. Right, I had and then what I don't know. It's sometime we get saved through different situation. My story is like I literally gave up myself until I was living with my mom. Right, we had a house. We built from welfare, nothing. You know what I mean? Her and I was a team. With a roommate. Well, anyways, so we're like 4 months behind rent. And she said, "Son, we're behind rent. I need your help anymore. I can't do this anymore. I need your help." So just see that look on her face. I've never seen this look before. She was so fearful, right? I mean, I got goosebumps right now. It's just like, oh my God, I got to do something, right? So that's when I started joining AA, because she took me to Vietnam. We pray at almost every temple. She took me around. She said, "Okay, do this," but I was still thinking about my next drug and my next drink. When I went to do a 3 week jail time. I party up until the last minute because I know I couldn't party anymore. That's the monster I was. And when she picked me out, came home, I went straight to partying. That's all I thought about. Imagine that. That's all I thought about all day long was my addiction. Man, I mean, it's I didn't care about my mom, I didn't care about my friend, I didn't care about anything. It was all about my addiction and how I could feed it. Man, talk about being a slave, boy. I was a slave. And here I am to tell you, it's I with me and my higher power in the fellowship, I found a way out. What a blessing that is, and I could try carrying the message, man. I mean,
yeah,
it's and I know, and especially now, right? God, I mean, I've seen like 4 or 5 people. They try to work a program. They work a program, and they have a mental attack. You know, where the addiction called them, and then they relapse, and then they try some whatever drugs on the street, and it's laced with fentanyl, and they overdose. It's happening like too many times already. It's crazy. I see it, but
yeah,
it's sad right now. It's not like before. It's this fentanyl has changed the game forever. It's actually
yeah,
pretty alarming. I don't know the exact numbers, but I only see bits and pieces of evidence that it's anyways. This yeah, it's I hate this disease. You know, I see it. I just see it, and it seems like it's getting worse and worse because we have too many options now. Society, there's too many addiction, right? As far as the street drugs, the pills, the alcohol. I mean, geez, I
Mhm.
mean, it's it's tough, and I know that if someone's trying to do this on their by themselves, they probably have a small chance. I couldn't do it, and countless other could do it, but with support, from some sort of support group, it doesn't have to be AA, something, right, to keep you accountable and to, you know, help you do this. I don't think it's possible if you do it by yourself. There probably is a case, but not many, because I could only share my story. I mean, I try everything,
Yeah.
but obviously, I found out that I was trying to go to war with the wrong army, right? Me, myself, and I. Doesn't work like that.
They need
So,
your support.
yeah. So,
That's great. Could you speak to? You've already done a bunch. Like I like how you're covering a lot of my questions in just one kind of one fluid story, which is great. So one thing I've kind of noticed in my own mental health is is scheduling and timing, and the more that I can kind of manage my own time successfully. In a way, the better I feel, the more purposeful I feel, stuff like that. And I've found when I've had my addictions kind of worse, I'm not really managing time. Time is managing me. Like kind of like you said when you went to jail and got out of jail. It's just like, where's the fix? Where you kind of don't have time for time management in a sense because and like another thing that you already kind of spoke to that relates is like that like save yourself job,
right.
save your life
Get,
job,
yeah, get well job.
get well job, right? That gave a person who was like new to sobriety like some time management, like okay, you're going to show up, you're going to do all these activities, you're going to kind of stay busy, so you had that in the beginning with the get well job, but now you said you're 10 years on, so just kind of how like in it also speaks to the freedom which you already talked about, but how does that sort of freedom from the addiction help you be more in control of your time, and how does and the reversal, how does like being in control of your time kind of help your mental health?
Well, that's a good question. Well, like I said, early on my recovery, I devoted all my time to my recovery. Pretty much, I didn't have a job, so I was like just like a sponge, just hearing stuff and just listening, learning how to listen. That was the number one thing, was just be able to sit still and breathe and just listen and just give this person, whoever's sharing, all my energy. I need to do that because my sponsor, he did that too, right? And so I was like a, monkey see, monkey do. Just, I watch him, what he does, I was doing it. And then as my listening got better, I started connecting, and then as far as time, time, it's for me, it's like I said, I had all the time in the world. So looking back, that was probably the best thing because I just got myself into AA, all of it, because I had a lot of time. And then I started getting a job, I spent a little bit less time with AA because I had this job. I had a girlfriend, life, but in my heart, AA was with me 24/7, and people, right? That was my strength, especially when you're trying to do life with, with like Mickey Mouse skill sets. You're making tons of mistakes, and but I learned that, I'm not gonna beat myself up because I'm in the learning stage, the growth stage. So it was a very humbling journey. It still is, and I try not to take things too seriously. And now, as far as my time now, I don't know. I focus my time on my mental health and my physical. What I mean? Like I try to invest in me. Yeah. And when I do give time, obviously, there's scheduling and stuff like that. Right, whatever. But I mean, I'm not perfect, but I try not to be wasteful with my time anymore. We're in our addiction, right? We could spend hours plotting something crazy in our mind. That's 3 hours gone while we're still drinking, drugging. So I don't know. It's this whole time thing. I know that I'm 50 years old. My time on this earth is limited, like everybody else, right? Everybody, I truly believe, we are all spiritual beings having a human experience, right? So once for me, once I leave this planet, my spirit's gonna go somewhere else. Hopefully, I can see my loved ones, my mom, my dad, my grandparents, all the dogs and fish I kill. I gotta make amends to them. They'll be the first in line, you know, and all the people. It's just I don't know. So everyone's got their own belief, but I feel like for me, for me to think like this, my time on this planet, especially from where I came from, I'm free rolling. This is all bones, all gravy right here. And so I'm trying not to be wasteful and just like I said, as far as the time, I try to spend time loving people. Be kind. You know, Driving. Always, I try to let them go. When someone cuts me off, whatever, I don't take it personal. There's no attachment there. I detach. I detach from, especially all the negative energy out there. And, this world we live in. I mean, it's positive and negative, but I can just be a bear witness to whatever's going on, right, Ben? Just be
Yeah.
a bear witness, and 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 I fall short a lot, because everybody has judgment, right?
Yeah.
And people, places, and things, and that's why it's a constant reminder for me. That's why I pray and meditate. Just be still and just breathe, man. Just breathe, and this and sometimes my voice is talking to me. My addiction is still alive with me. It doesn't go away. Make no mistake about it. But I have a solution, right? It's a daily reprieve. It's a daily thing. I don't have to do it one day at a time. As far as the mental health, I mean, I did seek a spiritual advisor, you know, who was in the program, and he and I had to meditate. In fact, I'm going to have a session with him in an hour and a half, where we pray, we meditate, we talk about some deep stuff, because I feel like uh, before I even started this journey, I had so much blockage deep down from childhood that, I even know how I arrived, right? How I became this monster. But I did a lot of writing, right? Journaling. I could go back in time and see, and now as time I could go back further and further. Where my first couple years of my addiction, it was like a brain fog. Try and go back 4, 5, 6 years in your addiction. It's impossible, man. But somehow, it's funny. It's like I would talk with people when I used to party with, and they would tell me, "Yeah, Tang, you used to do this." Oh, really? I would gather all that data, and then I could now formulate, my past. Not all of it, but do the writing and do talking with others, whatever. It's a beautiful thing, to go back to your past and see your fault, you know,
Mm,
and it's a lot of work involved, man. I mean, don't worry, I'm not done yet,
yeah.
but this is at least this is the fun part now. I get to live a free life, you know,
Yeah.
from the obsession. I still drink my coffee,
Right. Right.
I love fast food, but it's what a beautiful journey, And as far as mental health, like I said, it's mental health is a serious, serious issue because I see it on a daily basis, and sometimes the best I could do is just say, God bless you, while I'm driving by, you know.
Yeah.
No, I can't save the world, but the people in my world, I try to support them and love them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's, like I said, I try to do my part, That's why I'm here with you.
Tan, you're the man. I got one more question for you. I think this one's kind of good for you and the people being interviewed. So it's that question of imagine. It's sort of a two-part question. The first part is imagine your life over the next 20 years. So you said you're 50, so 50 to 70, and imagine it both ways. Like if you were to not have gotten sober or to relapse and spend that entire time addicted versus spending that time free. And I think that what holds a lot of people back from getting sober is the fear of missing the highs, right? And to me, it sounds like in a different way, it's a different high, but that you're really the happiness that you have is a high. The freedom that you have is a high, right? And so I imagine that you're in comparing like the next 20 years addicted or sober, that the actual top moments, the best you're gonna feel is it's not only the worst you're gonna feel is less, is raised up here, but that the best you're gonna feel might be raised up too. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but like if you feel that way, like where you're gonna actually, have these more natural highs that are more satisfying along with the freedom, and does that make sense?
Yes, no. Like I said, in my disease, I experienced a lot of chemical highs that were pretty fun at the time, right? But I I bet everything on it. This natural high that is a spiritual high. Do like love. Pause. You know what I mean? Just all that stuff.
Yeah.
Meditation is such a consistent. I don't know. It's no comparison. And the bottom line is, if I for me, I know if I pick up that first drink, I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose this beautiful life. That one drink. Do I want to make? Do I want to lose everything? I don't want to pay the price. And this love, this pure love. This pure love I have for mankind, whatever, family. This genuine connection. I don't want to give that up because when I was in my disease, nobody called, and I was just just there's no life. There's no. I work so hard, man. I'm not gonna give that up because I see it. People with more years than me, they pick up that first drink and they take years to come back if they come back. And I've seen like drug and alcohol counselors relapse and now they're homeless. And sometimes you don't get that second, third chance. Here I've been given a second chance. I don't want to take that third chance. I no, I don't want to give this up for nothing. For nothing. For nothing. The only way I could pick up a drink if you put a gun in my head with real bullets. That's the only way because that's my life. I mean, no, I mean it's like I'm responsible, man. I'm responsible to try to carry the message and try to help somebody. I am responsible, and that's my purpose. I mean, and like I said, it seems like natural high you talking about the true connection with you know with like life forms, even a dog, my fish, whatever. It's like animals, dogs, they could sense if you're good or bad. They have that sixth sense, right? That dog sense. When I was in my disease, my dog, they ran so far, I would tell them come. I'm screaming at them. They're hiding behind my mom because I got one of those broomstick. I want to beat them up. That was a monster. No wonder they didn't come to me. Here, yeah, it's so no. I'm not. I don't want to give this up, man. No, I'm no. I work way too hard, man, just to be here. I mean,
Yeah.
a drink. What's that gonna do? What is that
Yeah.
gonna do for me? Nothing.
Nothing. This looks good on you, my friend. This looks good on you. I appreciate it. That's what I want to just be inspired. And in addition to me personally wanting to be inspired, I want the people in this, mental health movement, the people that need it, anybody who needs it
Yeah,
to have that little bit of extra motivation, extra inspiration. And you
yeah,
gave us a lot of that today.
yeah.
So,
We need more hope in this world, man, because yeah, there's a lot of people that are really struggling, and they have no way out. They think
yeah,
they have no way out. I'm not saying the 12-step program is for everybody, but thank God it worked for me.
yeah.
And it's I don't take it for granted. Like I said, man, it's no a drink and a drug right now. No, it does not sound good, sir. No, sir. No, not even close. I can't fathom it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. That's good. That means you really latched on to a good feeling that you don't wanna miss. That's greater than,
No,
whatever feelings you had
this
before.
is the best gift ever, man. But
Yeah.
anyways, hey, thank you for what you're doing. If you need more help, whatever, let me know. Thanks for your
Thanks, man.
time, man.
Appreciate it.